if you're looking for a bunkhouse to take your family out and you're like, I don't need anything super way over the top loaded up or anything like that, but if I'm gonna be stuck inside this thing on a rainy day, we need the space, we need the entertainment to get through the time without driving one another nuts. Or what if say grandpa and grandma, you want to go out, you want to have a nice RV, you want a comfortable layout. Again, you don't want a neck wrecker entertainment center. You know, your chiropractor adjusts your neck enough as it is. But maybe the grandkids or maybe your adult children and their kids might come along. This, I think, is a really good option for someone who's maybe a couple but looking for a guest camper. And that's what I think is so cool about this one. It's flexibility. It has a sister in the Jayco lineup called a 267, and maybe that number means nothing to you, but it's a little bit shorter, it's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit less money, but it has a crappy entertainment center that you have to totally crank your head around. This thing comes with a 50-inch Jumbotron. You want to crank up the WWE Atomic Hacksaw Jim Duggan elbow drop, brother. This thing, you know, it's well, Hacksaw Jim Duggan Atomic Elbow Drop certified, which is a new thing I didn't even know existed until this came on. There's probably a sticker on it somewhere that describes that. I don't know. I haven't looked that closely at it. It seems like that's the kind of thing Jayco would want to market on this, though. It only makes sense. Back to something a little more serious, though. You've got a best-in-class warranty, 2 years plus 3 years structural, Goodyear Endurance radials. We are rear and side camera ready. We have turn signal safety lighting and reverse travel lighting. There's stuff on this you cannot find anywhere else in this class, like their Magnum Truss roofing. They got their whole plywood roof deck system that holds more weight. There's a ton of best-in-class qualities on this one, on top of the Atomic Elbow Hacksaw Jim Duggan action, brother. And I tell you what, I actually credit Jayco. I think company-wide, they've had the most involved, aggressive, significant 22 update package I've seen. Many manufacturers have changed virtually nothing. Many have maybe just said, okay, well, we're just going to standardize some things. And I think in part, and probably a great deal of that was due to the fact that what they were actually wanting to accomplish was streamlining their production process to be able to, you know, build more RVs because everything was simpler that way. Jayco kept their foot on the gas pedal, and I think that they've really pulled ahead in a lot of areas. Like, how about the fact I think every single one of their travel trailers and fifth wheels are completely carpetless flooring now. And this is a Jay Flight SLX. This is the most basic series camper that they build. And this is carpetless. There's radiant barrier in the slide flooring. You saw the whole thing can fold down into sleeping. Like, this is a really cool floor plan. The new modern farmhouse decor, well, not new, but new to Jay Flight, is something that you have a hard time finding in this classification of RV. It is optional. There's 2 different decor options. Neither costs more than the other. You get to choose your decor. Optional sounds like something else, I guess. You know what I mean. But anyway, we're still 6'9" tall. And count the lights in here. They have more lights per square foot than anybody else in this class. They are running more copper up here, which is not cheap, and then you need a qualified electrician to do that stuff, you know. That is why Jaycos are rarely the least expensive option. They are arguably usually in that more upper end premier class. Like, they frankly don't know how to do basic very well. They only know how to just keep doing more and more and more. And this right here, this, to me, is the signature calling card of the 284 BHS floor plan, this giant Jumbotron entertainment center. TV is standard on this model. It's one of the only Jay Flights in the entire lineup, not SLX or Full Flight or otherwise, where that is standard. And this is like a 50-inch North Point television or something huge like that. It's a major focal point on this trailer. If you don't care about the TV, I will leave you a link. You can check out, like, its little brother. It's called a 267. It's very similar. It has the same kind of bunk arrangement. You've got 600-pound rated bunks with individual curtains over here in these corners. Being fair, I would prefer it if that upper bunk window opened for airflow, but I don't know. I guess you can't have them all anyway. But it's going to be basically the same trailer, but without the massive entertainment center. That will keep it shorter, that will keep it lighter, that will keep it less expensive. And I actually kind of like how Jayco gives us an AB build option. I haven't seen one of these in a couple of years. I haven't been able to get some updated footage. I'm really glad this came in. This thing is sweet. Now, if I'm going to be a little picky, if there was one thing I would like to see them do for the next model year, upgrade from just a mirror on the wall to an actual, even a basic, even a small, an inexpensive, cheap medicine cabinet. Those are the little details I like to share with you. Like, as a person who goes camping, and I camp in a Jay Flight SLX. That's why I do the toilet selfies. That's why I stand in the shower. That's why I show you the headroom of this stuff. Not only just to show people how they're going to fit, but maybe show you something that as a first-timer, you haven't considered before. I want to help you find your second RV the first time, and that taller shower. This, you know what? This shower is one of the biggest you're going to find in the entire world of travel trailers. This is massive. If you remember some of my previous videos, this is one of the ones here where I attempted shower yoga and I spent 2 weeks at my chiropractor getting straightened out. Now, coming out of the bathroom there, we are greeted with some serious storage space, starting really like up here above the entertainment center. Good DVD cabinet space, just good generic cabinet space. I just love that they didn't let it go to waste. They could have just made this a full entertainment wall. They could have just kind of tried to partition that off, but they opened it up. And dedicated closet space back here right next to the bunks. That is something that is so hard to find in bunk models. With dresser drawer galorage down here, and I would call that like a pantry-tainment center down there. But the good news is you don't have to get on your hands and knees. That is actually going to double effectively as more dresser space for the kiddos. Now, something I want to mention is what we're looking at here is the standard 6 cubic foot gas electric fridge freezer. We actually ordered this with the larger 12 volt DC compressor fridge that is optional. They are having trouble getting a hold of those at the time of this filming. So we said, hey, no problem. Send it any way you like. And frankly, if you're looking for boondocking, that's a little more friendly boondocking fridge due to the lower power draw that those fridges have on propane mode. I just simply want to clarify that. Now, while we're looking at all this, the reason I didn't have to call that a pantry-tainment center is because you have an awesome pantry right over here, like against the bedroom privacy wall. But smart thing they did here, they left a little clutter cut and shoe garage down below it. I'm a big fan of those. I'm a real big fan of those, actually. Just they keep so much dirt and debris kind of contained. And again, we are a completely carpetless slide system. That's a major, I think, new for 22 update that they've applied to these. Also, the standard sofa gets in on the action with a big old storage chest down below, which I think would be perfect for rainy day games. And again, this RV being a little bit bigger, it has the space to get through those rainy days. Now, as I was panning around just now, I noticed something I had never really considered before on this floor plan. The bedroom privacy wall up here, which does have a sliding pocket privacy door, by the way. You got the couple drunken octopus coat hangers doing their own little mini fight club over there, but it doesn't have the little boot bench down below, and that kind of jumped out at me. But then I started thinking about it. If you added more blocky stuff right there, that would really be a pinch point. That would get awful close. And I think what they did here, I think it makes sense. I think that was a good decision. Now, one of the major differences between a full flight or an SLX, which is what we're looking at here, is that SLXs are camp queen beds. They're the short queen 60 by 74. A full flight is at least a true queen, most of the time with an option for a king, which is kind of cool. Wide open side stands right there. I suppose you could put a wider mattress under that, just hang under the overhead cabinets a little bit. Speaking of which, take a look at this little interesting thing they do. I guess on the way over real quick, I want to mention, squirrel saw something shiny. TV hookups right across from the bedroom wall. You have a matching key block TV mount outside, by the way. And that black sticker right there. This thing has roof solar prep standard on every one of these now. The roof is solar prepped. The closets I was getting ready to talk about. Take a look up in here. That one is a hanging closet. And you'll see easy lift bed storage down below this. But then we get over here. What you think is another closet is actually a hanging dresser space. It's a little different, a little unconventional, but there's a lot of people I talk to who go, why do I need hanging space in a basic family camper? I need, room to fold my t-shirts and my jorts and whatnot. That's the dad in me talking, love my jorts. And really one of the great qualities on this one, very similar to the 267, kind of smaller little brother version of this. Like, if you really love the entertainment center, again, this 284, this is your Huckleberry. If you don't care about a TV in your camper, you're just looking to do some basic bunking, well then stick with the 267. It's shorter, lighter, save you money. But both of them are fantastically, totally turtle friendly, dude. You can get through these things. They pass a Cracker Barrel test, I guess we could say. I got like 6 names for this now, don't I? Outside here, we're under the front pass-through below the headboard storage area. We'll get to those little metal stands in a minute. But notice how we've got the magnet holdbacks for everything, and take a look at that marker light. You see a funky little black widget hanging off it. That's a technical term, by the way. That's a side camera prep point. Plus, you'll see rear camera prep later on. The diamond plate up front is something not everybody does, although it does seem like very few manufacturers are going without diamond plate. Now, that was something more common for a while. It was less expensive and it weighed less, so some brands went with it. The idea there, though, is you want your RV to stay looking good, and that diamond plate helps accomplish that goal right there. Power tongue jack, power awning, standard on these. Often in this class, you have to upgrade to a power jack. And a trailer like this, I just really can't recommend anybody not use a weight distributing load leveling hitch, which is kind of 2 ways of saying the same thing. But the hitching that goes along with these things, the bars and the stuff like that, you're supposed to crank it up and down a couple times. The power tongue jack makes that very, very easy by comparison. Now you see the little platform there and the funky square bar. Well, that is representative of the optional Blackstone griddle that we've added to this RV. That will come back here at the little camp kitchen station, which I inconveniently failed to open. More on that in just a moment, obviously. In the meantime, though, the optional stable steps. Standard on this would be the metallic fold-out steps. The Jayco designer has advised me he's wondering if he should go ahead and standardize these or not. What is your feedback? And we'll get it relayed to him. So that guy right there, right behind the Goodyear radial tires that are standard on this, that is the J port. Every single 284 BHS includes that standard. This is going to be really weird, and the Jay Flights are the only time in the Jayco family what I'm about to say is true. The stick and tin Jaycos like this with a camp kitchen, it is the only time the Blackstone griddle is not standard in a Jayco with a camp kitchen. So, let's say you were looking at an Eagle, a White Hawk, a Jay Feather, anything else with a camp kitchen, a Blackstone is standard in it. In a Jay Flight, even if it has the little camp kitchen station, you still have to option the Blackstone griddle. I think that's not a logical way of doing things, but that is how they're doing it, so it doesn't matter what I think. I just want to make sure that you have good expectations set. What I don't want to have happen is somebody like watch one of our videos and I don't totally clarify something, and then you drive clear across the country to pick something up from us and it doesn't have the equipment that you thought it did. I don't care if it's here or somewhere else. I don't want our viewers to have that experience, you know, so I'd rather take the extra time to explain it. Like the lack of rear ladder on this. These are always rear ladder optional. I did actually request a rear ladder on this, just like I requested a 12-volt fridge inside. Shortages have prevented us from getting those things as intended. There's nothing wrong with the trailer, it's just I'd like it a little bit different. So keep in mind, moving forward, it is very likely the Jaycos that we have in stock, the Jay Flights like these, will have a ladder on the back. This one simply doesn't. We do always have the turn signal safety lighting, thankfully. So let's say you flip on your left-hand turn signal, that little marker light amidships up there and the one up front there will blink along with your turn signal to tell everybody else what you're doing. In this class, black tank flush, outside utility shower, it's a 50-50 question. Do you get them? Do you not get them? They are standard here on these, and that's really what surprises me so much about the Jay Flight SLX series. It is the all-thriller no filler kind of package, like a full-blown Jay Flight 28 BHS, a true Jay Flight, not an SLX, however you want to describe that. They have more widgets and whiz bangs, and they seem a little flashier, a little fancier. But you know what? They are literally identical structurally. They have the same safety packages. They have, the same type of cabinetry and stuff. It's not built better. It just has more gizmos, which means it's heavier and more expensive. This is actually kind of my speed right here. I prefer function over fashion. It just, I don't know, it fits me better. What's your take on that? Also, just a quick note here to let you know you do have the option of enclosing the underbelly. It's not heated on an SLX. On a full Jay Flight with thermal package, it is heated. This is just enclosed, but it still adds a little more protection than absolutely nothing down there. So how do you see this one? Is it family bunkhouse with just a sweet entertainment center, or is it a casual couples rig where if we have some friends or family want to come along, we got a place to sleep everybody. I don't really know that there's a wrong answer. And that's what's actually kind of cool about this one. If there's, like, you got a family now. Like, my daughter is preteen currently. You know, she could bring a friend. We'd have room for something like that in here. But in a couple years, she's probably going to be involved in sports or something. I don't know. Esports, maybe. Knowing my kid, it'd probably be esports more than physical sports. But who knows? I support her, whatever she wants to do. She wants to pump gas for a living. I support it. I don't care. As long as she's happy and doesn't hurt anybody. The thing, though, is if she came along sometimes or didn't come along, I don't really feel like I've lost anything on this trailer. So many bunkhouses, if the bunks are being used, the floor plan feels like it sucks. I don't get that vibe out of this one. I get a lot of flexibility. I get good vibes out of this one. Good vibrations. Like Clark Griswold at the beginning of Vegas Vacation when he's running over the neighbors' curbs and his mailboxes and stuff. Anyway, I'm all over the place today. You'd never believe I'm not caffeinated. So, when you're ready, we're ready. We'd love to work with you. If you at least had a little fun today, even if you didn't learn anything, if you had a little fun, at least hit the like button, leave us a couple comments, say, hey, thanks, crazy guy, or something like that. Or you got any questions, leave me a note. I'll do my best to fill it in, and I like to leave you a link in the video description for pricing and availability. So when you're ready, we're ready. No fees, just fun. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.